Another Simple Favor, Anna Kendrick, Blake Lively, an international show. A sequel so many of us wanted, but maybe not like this. Alright, so I'm a huge fan of A Simple Favor. I think it's hilarious. Emily lights up this part of my brain that's like, I both want you and want to be you, which is a rare feeling for me. Usually I'm seeking out opposites. But she's just rocking those suits so well, I can't help it. Anyways, point being, I was a big fan of the first movie when it came out. Then it got a second life once it hit streaming services, which I think is great. So when I found out that there was a sequel in the works and it was going to be premiering at South by Southwest, I knew I was in for a treat. Or at least that I had to be there. And I messed up my badge at South by Southwest that first day, so I waited 5 hours in line to make sure I got into that movie. And was it worth it? Mostly? And I say that because I know I would have been very upset had I not made it into the movie, but this does kind of end up being the best worst case scenario of a movie. And by that I mean, it's stupid fun, but if anybody who was involved in making this movie really understood why the first movie was so special and worked for people, maybe this could have been a significantly better movie. But it's the best case of that scenario because at least it's entertaining. And I always say, if you're not gonna be good, at least be entertaining. But yeah, largely just kind of tries to keep one-upping the best bits from the first movie to some horrifying results, but hey, we're here. And there's actually a lot of buzz around this at South by Southwest, especially once people realized that Blake Lively was actually showing up in the midst of her current legal battles. And honestly, nothing super dramatic happened other than the fact that there was a live stream protester outside the event, and I think Variety ruined the red carpet by asking a non-direct question by definitely trying to fish for something out of Anna Kendrick, so that kind of sucked for anybody who was on the red carpet. But I was ready to be tantalized and overwhelmed with Emily's style. But maybe I can hope to look as good as Emily with today's sponsor, Pair Eyewear. Maybe I should have gone with something large and luxurious, but the Twains here just called to me. So I'm a person who likes having a lot of glasses, specifically sunglasses. I have sensitive little baby eyes, and with the prescription I need for driving, the costs really add up. In comes Pair Eyewear, where one pair can become dozens with their convenient and stylish top frames at a much cheaper price point than even a single pair of prescription glasses from the optometrist. Literally, these glasses with a prescription and a handful of toppers was significantly cheaper than my last pair of prescription sunglasses. Now if I'm at a festival rushing between screenings, I don't have to deal with the awkwardly swapping out glasses. I just have to pop the sun topper on and off in a flash. Pair Eyewear also makes it super easy to experiment. Like, I've wanted to try mirrored sunglasses for a while, but never wanted to make that commitment when I'm spending hundreds of dollars on a single pair. Now I can conveniently try anything that seems remotely interesting to me without worry. Even with the regular glasses, sometimes I'm wearing a little bit of a flashy outfit and I want the glasses to match that. We just pop on the clear topper and it's instantly a vibe. With a virtual try-on, multiple frame colors across styles, and hundreds of tops to choose from, Pair Eyewear makes the online buying a breeze, and for every pair sold, they donate a pair to a child in need. We love helping children see, so make sure to check out Pair Eyewear for yourself today by clicking the link in the description down below to get 15% off your first pair. But before we talk about the sequel, I'm going to do a little recap on the first movie. I think I always meant to make a video about the first movie, and I just hadn't. So yeah, I saw this thing in theaters when it first came out, and I thought it was incredible. It's super fun, it's catty, the sexual tension between them is instant. Well, not instant, maybe just a little bit from Stephanie's side.
Baby, if you apologize again, I'm gonna have to slap the sorry out of you.
Everything reminds me of her. But Anna Kendrick plays Stephanie, a local mommy vlogger that gets sucked into the world of Emily, a glamorous mother without much care for other parents that Stephanie can't help but be captivated by. The two start hanging out, start sharing secrets, including the infamous brotherfucker scene where Stephanie finds out she has a half-brother as an adult, and the two seek comfort in each other after their father's death, and do it. I literally wore my White Lotus brotherfucker shirt for the occasion. I've literally just had this for years. It worked out so well. But then both the brother and the husband die in a car accident, and she doesn't know which one of them is the father of her child.
Brotherfucker.
So much fun. But eventually this friendship leads to Emily asking a simple favor. Can you take care of my son while my husband's away, because I have to go away on some work? But then she doesn't come back. And this spirals Stephanie into a true crime mystery, trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Emily and the very weird life she lived. And spoilers, it was all pretty fucked. First, Emily ends up dead, and then Stephanie starts hooking up with the husband Sean when they're trying to comfort each other. But it turns out that this was all an elaborate plan for Emily to fake her own death after her twin sister no one knew she had turned up to blackmail her for money. Apparently when they were 16, they started the house fire that killed their abusive dad before they disappeared, and Faith doesn't seem to have any issue going down for it if Emily, born Hope, doesn't do what she wants. So she kills the sister, makes it look like it was her, and then escapes away with plans for Sean to meet up with her with the insurance money he'd get from her death. But then because she's feeling betrayed that he was sleeping with Stephanie and Stephanie's feeling betrayed that he was basically using her, Stephanie agrees to make it look like it was Sean that killed the sister, but it seems like Stephanie's only going along with it to get Emily's actual confession to kill her sister. I know that all sounds confusing. They really do make it work in the movie. And I think it's a great finale here. We got some twists and turns, we got manipulation, there's layers. But it all ends with Stephanie getting the live streamed confession and Emily being hit by a car Regina George style.
Sweetie, stop. You've just been hit by a car.
So she goes to jail and Stephanie gets to launch a successful career in cold cases and mystery solving. And that's really just scratching the surface at what's going on in this movie. Like Linda Cardellini's in it for a scene. The whole thing just has this absurd dark comedy sensuality to it and I adore that. Even Stephanie's falling under that do I want you or do I want to be you umbrella with Emily, and it's perfect and I love it. But what brings us back to the land of brotherfucker? Somehow Emily has returned because Stephanie's currently at her Italian wedding where she's currently under house arrest under suspicion that she killed Emily's new husband, which is wild because Emily's supposed to be in jail. Instant intrigue, let's see how we got here. It is 5 years after Emily's arrest. Stephanie's written a book, kept up with her true crime channel, exposing criminals, but recently took a step back because of an incident involving a swim coach who almost shot her, then shot himself because she accused him of having illicit images on his computer of younger individuals. And everything she's done has made her kid's life very hard. And no, I don't mean sleeping with her brother, but just the general public nature of it all.
And they say you tried to single white female her.
Okay, she ensnared me.
But is now getting ready to tour her book, which is about Emily. And it's at this reading that Emily waltzes in, wearing recently released prison chic with the stripes. Apparently she's out on appeal, somehow.
I feel like you left out all the good stuff. Remind me, what happened with your brother again?
So seems pretty menacing, but instantly they are riffing to perfection. And I guess Emily's just here to thank Stephanie for giving her a clean slate. You know, no need to hide. She can actually have her kid back again. And she's gonna spend the rest of her life trying to thank Stephanie for it.
That's the most terrifying thing she said yet.
And somehow still sees her as her best friend. Well, her only friend. And why she's here in this moment is to invite her to be her maid of honor in Capri. Literally, I think this movie was just an excuse for them to all take an Italian vacation and then realized, oh my God, we have to make a movie. But yeah, this invite absolutely relaunches her mommy crime vlog because everyone's watching to see if she ends up dead, which would absolutely increase the book sales and make for a great sequel if she did have an attempted murder on her. Love the agent's reaction to that. And she doesn't really have a choice because if she doesn't go, Emily's gonna sue her for using her name and likeness. Yeah, so much going on here, so exciting. Wait till you see who the fiance is. I swear to God, sometimes this movie felt like it was made just for me. And I just love the dynamic between the two of them here, her rocking up in her cozies while Emily looks like she's the lead in a lesbian rendition of Casablanca or the Rat Pack. Stephanie also brought that agent as an insurance policy.
Because I won't kill you both?
Oh, we're gonna have fun. Not the kind of fun I want, but fun.
Did you get me a stripper? Is it you?
But things are intense here. She's not allowed filming anything. Apparently the fiance, Dante Versano, is obscenely rich from old money. And Emily knows him from a stint she did in Italy, and I guess her being arrested made him remember her. And guys, the fiance is fucking Are You Lost, Baby Girl?
Are you lost, baby girl?
The 365 days jump scare once again playing an Italian mob boss, which was so funny because at the Q&A after the screening, he said he was happy to be doing a role that was different from what he's used to doing. Sir, where? There's one reason why it's different, but it's also so stupid that he would word it that way. We will get to it when it happens because it also led to a hilarious moment in the Q&A with Andrew Rannels, so stay tuned.
Does he have a brother?
Why, are you into fucking brothers?
Okay, I do love it, but it is starting to feel like they knew they did something in round one, and now we're just really playing into it, overplaying into it, like it's some borderline parody of A Simple Favor. I was having a blast though. That theater serves margaritas. But the drama only increases when, surprise, Sean's here. Legally forced to bring Nikki across the Atlantic. And this is the first time she's seen him in 5 years because Sean would never bring him to the prison. So what could possibly go wrong with a hostile ex, a master schemer, and a true crime sleuth all in the same spot with rival mob families in attendance? That's where the money comes from. He's once again an Italian mob boss.
Anyway, it's your funeral, pal.
Wait, it really is. We already know he dies. Then there's hostility from the mother-in-law, who definitely doesn't like Emily, to the point that she invites Emily's mother, who she doesn't talk to or like, and an aunt she didn't think was real, played by Allison Janey.
I'm so happy I came.
Me too, Henry Goulding, so happy to be here. And the mom is just rattling off about Emily being evil and talking about a burning baby, and that seems to throw the aunt off. And if you will remember, because I didn't even get a chance to actually mention it in the recap, in A Simple Favor, it's revealed that Emily was actually a triplet.
We were triplets. Charity was stillborn. Mom thought we offed her in the womb.
What if that kid wasn't dead? How much more dramatic can things get? I'm assuming a lot because they feel like they need to one-up themselves. So they're ready to be absurd. Let's see what happens. And oh yeah, it does immediately get ramped up. Sean just openly reveals that he's planning to petition for full custody of Nikki before crashing out about Emily and Stephanie ruining his life because everyone thinks he's a loser now. Boo-hoo, bitch.
And all because I stuck my dick into the both of you. Shut the fuck up!
Oh yeah, what a real different role for that man. Completely indistinguishable from 365 Days. I bet I could have taken that clip where you just see his face and people would believe me if I said that was from 365 Days. Now Stephanie's definitely pushing her luck here a little bit as maid of honor, and Emily is not amused. Brings her to some beautiful ledge and talks about an Emperor Tiberius who would throw people off cliffs if they didn't entertain him.
Maybe that's why I brought you here. I'm not feeling entertained.
A little bit ominous, but that's okay. Time to cut to Sean's unsuccessful shower wanking before someone murders him with some crazy poison that makes him like bleed out of his orifices. And he definitely knows who it is, or thinks he knows who it is, because he says, I don't want to talk right now, not who the hell are you or why are you in my room? So it could be Emily because he just threatened to take her kid, but she's a little bit more elegant than that, so could it be mystery triplet? We'll have to see. Time to hear about the Speedo Pedo. Yeah, that's what they call the guy that Stephanie exposed, and she's apparently worried that he might actually have been innocent and died because of her. To be fair, he was trying to pull the whole like, no, someone else planted that on my computer, which is like, I'm sure maybe 1% of the time that's true. Yeah, there is entirely too much going on in this movie, but somehow I'm here for all of it. So on her way back to her room, Stephanie notices a bunch of water pooling out of Sean's room while Nikki's trying to get in. So she's already thinking the worst and sends him away so he doesn't have to see his father dead on the floor with blood spilling out of his eyes. Now obviously Stephanie thinks it was Emily, and that Emily might specifically be trying to set her up for it because she told her she was late to the bachelorette party when Emily was actually just very early. The cops just write this off as a drunken accident. They clearly don't want to cause too much drama when there are two mob families in the same hotel. So mommy's on the case to uncover the foul play. Starting with following Emily around in her absurdly large hat. Okay, so we see that hat, huge laugh from everyone in the audience. We're like, oh my God, the costume designers went crazy. They're just progressively making her hats get bigger and bigger. But apparently she found that hat when they got to Italy. Literally just a happy accident. Also, that means we live in a world where someone just made that hat. Now, while they were still in America, Stephanie noticed somebody at her book reading that was following her around, and now she's in Italy. And apparently she's FBI, just real bad at it. Specifically looking to know more about Emily's Aunt Linda. Again, an aunt Emily thought was a lie because they never met. But here the agent's showing her a picture of someone who looks like Emily, has the same tattoo with that aunt. So what is Emily planning? Or again, is there a mystery third in the loop? Again, she delivered them. Maybe she just took one for the road. Kind of like, oh, you have a set of 3, you won't miss the third. And because she has so little faith in the FBI, she is hitting up the detective back home to have a background check done on whoever this aunt may be, before heading off to help Emily get ready for the wedding, where the aunt won't let her in the room. Suspicious. Don Massimo fighting with this rival mob guy, something's afoot. And when it gets to the wedding, Emily's just acting weird, like there's a whole layer of her personality just gone.
You look lovely, Emily. Do I?
Crazy dress though, look at that train. And the rival gang guy looks really upset, but like in a sad way, so what's going on there? Maybe he's got a little bit more than rivalry love, but it certainly seems like a passionate marriage because Massimo burns the prenup, meaning that if anything happens to him, Emily gets it all and asks for peace between the families, which they agree to before Stephanie gives a fairly unhinged maid of honor speech, which Emily just doesn't react to as expected. But it's time for the reception, where Stephanie notices Emily disappear and then quickly sees Dante, again Massimo, fighting with someone he seems to know before getting shot. And rival family guy is devastated.
I would never kill Dante. I
loved him? Gay cover-up? Because Stephanie's the one who saw it, they blame her for some reason. Like, there's literally no incentive for her to do this, but okay. But just like that, we're back at the beginning of the movie with her on house arrest.
Emily's acting creepy. I mean, creepier than normal.
Exactly, girl. And things just start getting weirder, like the aunt's suddenly working with the cops, they're taking her cell phone, they're genuinely putting up this whole like, I can't believe you killed the husband. And then Emily walks in this like crazy funeral outfit. Even tries to put Sean's death on her, even though she was with Emily when Sean died and has zero incentive to kill Dante. But then she kisses her.
I never said I loved you. Who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Emily's not like you, girl. She's not gonna get lost in that sauce. As expected, this must be the believed to be dead triplet. Or like 5-layer chest from Emily, who then uses the situation to make it look like Stephanie attacked her, and now that's like really bad because she would have just attacked somebody who's in the mob family and they just can't take lightly to that even if they don't like her. So yeah, we are completely off the rails here, and I'm okay with that. Again, if you're not gonna be good and you're gonna be stupid, you at least have to be entertaining with it. Otherwise, I'll drop you off the cliff like Tiberius myself. Now thanks to the maid, Stephanie manages to escape and track track down that FBI agent that's waiting to get her out of Italy so the mob doesn't kill her. And she now has the confirmation that the aunt's actually been linked to a bunch of crimes, including some potential murders. But first, a detour to Emily's mom, who somehow still remembers her as Emily's friend, still waiting on that refund she promised in the first movie. So when Stephanie starts sussing out about that third kid, the mom's just openly like, yeah, I've seen Charity here, but is really just maintaining that she's just somehow back from the dead. So yeah, Linda did in fact run off with that third baby and just lied about her being stillborn, before disappearing and apparently turning Charity into some kind of weird stunted killer. She's like a 5-year-old that likes to stab people. But before Stephanie can make it out with the FBI, Charity stabs the agent. And for some reason, Stephanie pulls the knife out so it just looks like she did it. So now she's grabbed by the mob, who give her a truth serum for some dumb reason. They really think she killed Dante. But she just starts rambling on about how Emily's triplets killing everyone, which sounds insane because the mother-in-law actually read Stephanie's own book and is like, well, the triplet's dead. I read that in your own book. And just general mention of her obsession with Emily, which is another trend in the movie.
I am not obsessed with her. I don't know why everybody keeps saying that.
And keeps taking it further that even if she was in a situation where she needed money, she'd never take it from Emily because she'd be too afraid of what the catch is. But just as they're about to kill her, Emily pops in to save the day. So now we see what's up, and not surprising, it's all money. Linda wants out of the criminal life and tries to blackmail Emily because she knew Dante was gay. And yeah, it's the fact that the character was gay is why Michele Morrone, Massimo, thought that it was a vastly different role for him, even though he's still a mob boss. Just because he had one scene where he kissed a dude. So to the funny situation at the Q&A, he starts talking about how he was hoping that this role would give courage to gays who are afraid to be themselves because of bad parents, like largely because Italy's still very homophobic apparently.
To give power and courage to those guys who are gays and they cannot, because they have weird parents.
Probably a bit convoluted with English not being his first language. He seems nice, solid sentiment, but look at the movie you're in, sir. This isn't Moonlight. Love that for him though, but for me, it was all the reactions on Andrew Rannels' face through all of this. Even the way that Alex Newell is looking at him to be like, it's fine. There's so much going on here. And then he weighs in so fantastically with,
you are giving all the gays strength. Thank you for the gays.
It's a nice thing to say, but look at what movie you're in. At least Alex Newell knew what she was here for.
And I was just really happy to film in Capri.
Anyways, so sorry, back to the movie. So at this point, Charity's revealed herself to Emily, and she's just very confused as to why she would have killed Sean, and apparently that was just supposed to be a gift to Emily. But Charity's also very upset that Emily killed their sister, and then drugs her.
Oh, goddamn it.
Now, this is where they really ramp things up if it wasn't weird enough as it is. They really wanted to outdo Brotherfucker. And their way to do that is by having Charity essentially see them both as one singular entity because they are the same, which means that their pleasure is shared and not individual.
I'm only ever gonna make you feel good.
Oh no! At least Brotherfucker was consensual.
Are you okay, by the way? Sorry, that was really dark.
Okay, I'm glad they at least took a little detour to have her say that because holy shit! So here I am waiting for Emily's master cunning plan, and it's literally just we gotta grab Nikki and just go into hiding. So yeah, definitely not her best work.
You could have just left me alone. Why am I part of this? Why the fuck am I here?
And it actually wasn't for revenge. It's because Emily knew that so many people in this mob family would have wanted her dead, and if anything happened to her, Stephanie wouldn't stop until she figured it out.
You're my knight in shining fucking armor, Stephanie. That's why you're here.
Aw, that's sweet. What a fucked up friendship. Okay, so it's endgame time. Charity goes live on Stephanie's account and baits them into going to her.
I can still feel you. Can you feel me? Aw, sister fucker.
And they do it because she has Nikki super drugged up. But as calculated mostly as Linda's plan was, Charity's just been going rogue. She wasn't okay with her killing Sean and has no idea that she just killed an FBI agent. And I guess the play at this point is just to get all the Versano money. Charity was the one who actually married him, and she's just gonna skinwalk Emily's life and make nice with the mother-in-law and just get access to it all. All they have to do is kill Emily and they're scot-free. But big problem, Charity's obviously never gonna do that, which leads to a struggle for the gun. Nikki gets away, manages to knock the gun out of Linda's hand, and Charity doesn't even blink before killing her.
She'll be okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not over yet though, because now Charity wants to kill Stephanie because she took Emily away from her. So to calm that situation down, Emily starts making out with Charity so Stephanie can get the gun away. What is this movie? And after all that, Emily gets Charity to go to prison on her behalf, and she is just so happy to do it. I feel like if they did a psych evaluation on her, she'd never make it to prison. So now Emily can just once again escape away. And Emily leaves Stephanie with one last request.
Just a simple favor. Old time's sake.
Basically take care of Nikki while she can't. So Stephanie ends up writing a really successful book about all this, which is obviously largely fabricated. And they did in fact confirm that the swim coach was the one with all the pictures, so guilt-free for her, I guess. But it's not over yet, somehow. The mother-in-law pops up where Emily is because she realized that whoever's in custody isn't Emily, and that deep down she knew that Emily would never have hurt her Dante. And she's fine to keep Emily's secret for her in exchange for a little request.
I have a single favor.
Oh my god, international mob mule Emily? A franchise? Look, if they're gonna become a borderline parody of themselves, go all in. But yeah, that's the movie. I kind of saw what the reviews were on Rotten Tomatoes when I was checking what Thunderbolts had. I'm feeling like people aren't loving this one. Not necessarily very popular with the viewers, which I completely understand. This thing is like an entire season of the most dramatic show you can think of rolled into one movie. But you know, there really is just something about seeing it at South by Southwest with a packed crowd really into the shit show. It's hard not to have a good time. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking down below. There's plenty of ways I could probably wrap up thoughts on this more, but I just don't feel like this is a movie that is asking for me to afford it much logic and thought. We're just here for the ride, baby. But that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks as always to my Patreon supporters and YouTube channel members. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like on the video if you're into that kind of thing. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm mostly okay, and we'll catch you all later.